welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hair Wire, the place where you get hair smart. This is your host, Sergio Cardona, alongside with my beautiful crew, Bisan Dipsy and Carrie Jerry. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing okay.
Hello. Doing great. Great for another topic today.
Oh, yes. By the way, how's the weather in Canada? Things are crazy. We hear a lot of news about the fire. You guys are safe. How's it going?
Yeah, well, I'm on Western Canada. I'm in Alberta. The fires have pretty well been under control here now. We still have a couple, but it is starting to get more tame, and we can breathe the air now. It was a little toxic there for a little bit. Now the fires have moved out east, so unfortunately they're all throughout Ontario area, and the air I know is not so great. But that's our season. We have extreme cold and extreme heat and fires. So
how's the things in Florida, Bisan?
Well, it's getting a little bit warmer right now. Today it's in the 90s, which I love it so much because northern Florida doesn't have a lot of humidity, so 90s with a little bit of humidity, it's actually very nice, beachy weather.
Yes. Over here we have over 125 on the heat index. Ooh.
Whoa.
It's getting hotter and hotter. I mean, it's summer. Everybody needs to go to the beach.
Yeah.
It's not that either you want, no. It needs to be done. It needs
That's
to be
why
done.
you live in the Caribbean.
Yeah, you're in the Caribbean.
You
You have to. You have to. That's the thing. You have to do it. So, hey guys, let's talk about nutrition. And Carrie, you were mentioning something amazing today. And we're going to be talking about that in a while, but the importance of nutrition and hair loss, and particularly also about hair care, because a lot of people think about nutrition as just a way just to stop hair loss or to increase hair growth, but sometimes we forget that the quality of our hair is directly related to our nutrition. Now, Biz, can you tell us a bit about this?
Yeah, and nutrition, like eating healthy food, eating good quality food is essential for our being. So especially in this era we live in, where we get bombarded with all the media that we should eat this fast food or this junk food is good. And it's actually spoiling the generation, unfortunately. And that's why we're seeing hair loss early on, like earlier on than we used to see that 10, 20 years or 30 years ago. I'm sure, Sergio, you know that. I'm sure your father didn't see hair loss early stages in life, like in their 18, 19, 20, as we are seeing it right now, because of the food we're having, the food industry, and in particular in the United States. So anyway, good quality food is not only good for your being, it's also good for your hair. Anything that is missing in the biology in our bodies, the first thing that can happen, you're going to start losing your hair. And actually, it's a good thing in disguise in a way. When you start losing your hair, run and go to a trichologist, to the nearest trichologist, get an epigenetic testing and see which elements of like the minerals or vitamins that are missing in your body, not only to save your hair, which is really important, is the crown that's on your head every day, every day.
The crown you never change.
Exactly. Exactly.
I like that. The crown that you never change. Yeah.
Exactly. Also important for our well-being. So that's why I love trichology, and I said it that many times before. Our hair is actually losing hair is a how you say that, it's a bad thing in disguise,
Yeah,
so
because it's giving you signals. I mean,
exactly.
it's like fever. I mean, when you get a fever, you know that something's happening. So you need to
Exactly.
watch out and not just taking, acetaminophen to it, but try to understand what it's happening to your body, and that's the main thing. Now, the thing about having good nutrition nowadays is also a economic factor. I mean, you're not just eating well because you want to, but because it's only thing that you are able to maybe get sometimes. And incredibly enough, junk food is cheaper.
I know. That's why I ask myself all the time, how come chemically synthesized food that doesn't come from nature, that you have to do it in a factory, is cheaper than what's outside in nature. It's just, it blows my mind sometimes.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And the only explanation to that is that the price of fresh food is overly priced. That's the only explanation. Now, why would the industry overprice things? Very simply, because you want some other foods to be on the low part of the budget, so people can access it. So in a way, I don't like, I don't like to mention conspiracy theories type of thing, because I'm try to avoid the politics sometimes. But at the same time, you have to wonder, I mean, is it really that expensive, to get fresh eggs? I mean, I could get a chicken and just hold it at our house, and it's not that expensive. I mean, grow a tree and get fruits. Is it really that expensive? I mean, when I do it at home, I don't figure that. I have a lemon tree, I have a breadfruit tree, I have banana trees.
I have the answer for you,
No, so
Sergio, if you allow me. I have the answer for you. I think the answer why the junk food is cheaper and why the fresh food is more expensive is because fresh food needs love, needs care, and needs time. And in the society we live in, they want like boom, boom, boom. Wake up in the morning, put a bagel, frozen bagel or frozen pancake from the freezer, put it in your oven, eat it on the go. Now, since time started to become money, food is not important anymore, because preparing food needs time. Having chicken in your yard needs your love and care. And since we are in a very fast going society, we don't even have time to love and care.
That's a good point. How about you, Carrie? What do you think of this?
No, it's 100% true. People are so hustle, and they forgot the importance and they forget to, time is not replaceable, money is, and they're so busy hustling for money because that's the way we are trained and society has been, and that's the way our world is now, is money, 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 no time, but you don't have time to be sick. And so when it comes to saving time, there's good time and bad time, but they're saving time to make more money. Well, it's compromising your health, it's a whole bunch of things, and people are so hustle. And I'm the same way. Like before, I used to be that person, especially as a hairstylist. I can't eat in between clients, so I'm throwing back a granola bar, I'm throwing back the quickest, easiest thing I could eat, because I don't take the time to meal prep. Now that I know the importance of health and nutrition and eating, and I love food, I'm a big foodie, I take the time to meal prep. I take the time to get good, healthy foods. And I now know hacks to make that happen faster, rather than cutting carrots every single time a week. I might cut them, do batch day of prepping stuff, so it is easy for me to go, like little baggies of fresh cut carrots that are quick on the go. But nobody takes that time anymore. They're like, no, I'll pay someone to do it, and get these plastic foods or foods covered in plastic. Like my funny one, which I always laugh, my husband and I always roll our eyes. We go into the produce section and we'll go get oranges, but they'll have pre-peeled oranges
yeah,
in packaged food. Like,
you don't have time to peel the orange.
You don't have time to peel the orange. Now you're getting more plastic, which plastics aren't allowed here, but we can't get a plastic straw, but I could get a plastic clam container with my pre-peeled oranges. Like, nothing makes sense anymore. Like, it just does not make sense. I don't get it.
The thing is, it brought me memories. My father, he will always buy, he used to buy all of the, fruits and vegetables on the side of the road. There will be cars, and they open the trunks and they have, the fruits and veggies, like, and everything. And and we pull and we grab. And I remember there was this guy, and he was always peeling oranges, and have them on bags so people can, and when they buy, you just slice them and start eating their oranges right then and there. It will be practical, it'll be easy. But at the same time, do you really need to have your orange peeled?
No, if you eat it right then and there, then it's fine. It's
exactly. If you're gonna eat it right then and there, but
it's okay.
You're gonna store it.
and
Doesn't
then
make
like, putting
much
it in
sense.
a bag, basically, this orange is oxidized already. To begin
Exactly.
with, this orange, now they did a test, actually 2 years ago, if I remember, they did a test on oranges in California. And the oranges, they collected samples, and the orange itself does not have more than 1% vitamin C. Actually, it does not have vitamin C at all. So we buy it for the
Wow.
vitamin C, it does not. By the time they pick it up, because they pick it up premature, and then they move it
Yeah.
in containers, and by the time it reaches the shelf and then you go get it, the nutrients disappeared. So imagine that it's already peeled and putting in a plastic bag. It's not even, at least that one is not harmful because it doesn't have vitamin C, but it's not harmful. This peeled one is harmful because it's oxidized, and the oxidized, then when you eat it, it will increase your free radicals. And free radicals, when you don't have enough antioxidants in your body, what happens? You're gonna have cancer on the long run. And that's why kids having cancer these days,
I mean,
unfortunately.
I hear you, and at the same time, like, what the heck am I gonna eat? you know,
Exactly.
you know,
I
it,
swear
it's
I
it,
asked
it's
myself this.
it's it's very
I
it's
know.
very hard. It's very hard to actually eat healthy.
It is.
And even though we do our best to give you guys information, it's a world of hard choices at the end of the day. So ideally, if you can grow it, better.
I know.
And I don't know if you guys live this, but I remember in my neighborhood, everybody will grow something different. So
Yeah,
we will
that's nice.
exchange. What you got? I got apples. Well, I got oranges. So let's switch. And everybody will start sharing. Of what they grow. If they want to try something different, just go to the neighbor. Hey, what you got? I got here. Pears. I have here something else. And so it's
This
beautiful.
is
It's a
when the
beautiful
community
experience.
was loving and caring.
And you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
I'm going to have people saying that, well, I'm in a spot where I can't grow stuff. You know what? You can. I live in Canada where it's ice most of the time, where I am in Northern Alberta. We grow stuff. There's so many options, and the technology for growing your own stuff and your own produce is amazing. There's also grocery stores produce. You don't have to go shop in the middle of all the aisles in a grocery store. You could shop only on the outside of the aisles. It's just being smart in how you shop. Like even myself, like we grow a lot in the summer. We just planted an urban orchard in the front of our house. In our backyard, we do have a garden. So we take that time. We dedicate that time. I put time in my budget to garden to get good produce and save money. But we do have a garden. We get a lot of produce, and if we get an abundance, we can it. So we have it for the winter. And that's, so we have the tomatoes, we can all our goods. We can, and we actually make an activity out of it with my kids, and the kids love it. They're like, oh, what are we eating today? And like, we have a wait list of how many people want my husband's salsa. He makes this really good mango salsa that all my friends are always like, Carl, make me another can of your mango salsa. So, it's taking that time, and people are like, I don't have time. Me and my husband make it as date nights. We do it together. We get a bottle of wine, we make dinner, and then we can together. We bring our kids into it. It's making it an activity versus a chore. So
Right.
it is possible. And same with gardening if you're in an apartment. There's so many tools out there right now. You can get UV lights right now for $20 on Amazon. Get a little pot.
The thing is, you can garden even on a can of soda. That's the beauty of it. You can garden even on a can of soda. And let me tell you guys, I remember I went to Haiti here in the Caribbean, one of the poorest countries in the world. And there was a group of people, a group of pastors, and they were teaching kids who are running around, get a can of soda, get a can of beer or whatever, cut it open, get some earth, poke some holes on it, get some seeds, and start growing something, so you can eat tomorrow, And the same principles applies to all of us. I mean, if you want good food, you have to grow it. That's the best way. But if you can't grow it and you're going to pay for it, at least try to make sure that is best possible way. And after that, make good choices of what you're going to put in your mouth at the end of the day,
and
try
what you're
to
going to
avoid.
purchase. Do you know how many times I see clients too, and it's one of my pet peeves, and I know I'm going to get comments on this, but I don't care. It looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. I'm calling it a duck. But the amount of times I've had people like, I can't afford it, but yet they are constantly smoking, paying
Oh,
$10 to $20 a
yes.
pack of cigarettes,
And the
drinking every
digital bag.
weekend. They're beautiful bags. Like, come on, you guys, make smart choices. I'm
Yes.
sorry, but my nutrition is more important than that pack of cigarettes or my binge drinking or my beautiful Prada bag, which I wear once a month and don't let anybody scratch it. You know, make smart choices. You know, your body is a vessel. It's a beautiful thing. It's going to take you from to the end. So make sure you treat it like that. And honestly, you spend all this money too in the salon, at the spa, getting high fancy creams, high fancy injections. You don't need that if you're feeding your body healthy.
Yes. And that's the truth. And you know, that's the direct relationship to your hair, guys. If we make good choices on what we eat, it's gonna show on our hair directly. Why?
And your skin.
In your skin, obviously. Why? Because cells in our skin as well as in our hair, and when I say cells in the hair, I'm talking about the hair bulb, guys, because of course the hair doesn't have cells, but in the hair bulb, at the very root of the hair, we have cells, and those cells are of the highest proliferation rate that we have in our body. So they consume a lot of energy, a lot of food. And even though food is the last place that arrives to hair, because again, our body distributes the foods to different places, and particularly primary places like your heart, lungs, and your brains and everything. And the hair is the last place that it goes to. Those nutrients need to be there. They need to be there to nourish your hair. Without it, what we're going to be seeing? We're going to be seeing a lot of dull, without shine hair, and
Brittle.
of course, brittle. Yeah, it's going to be easy to break. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to experience hair loss, maybe because of the lack of nutrition or poor nutrition. Now, you may say, well, Sergio, that's a nice theory and all, but I see a lot of people, homeless people, they don't eat well and they have beautiful hair, even more hair than I do. What do you think about that? Is it what they drinking, what they're taking, the drugs or whatever? Hey, sometimes genetics plays a role, you know. that's the only thing that you can say about that. But at the end of the day, you need to.
And one more thing, sorry. One more thing.
Yes.
These people never use products and highlighted their hair too.
True. That's the thing. We are in a culture, guys. We blow dry, and we use heat tools, and we use coloring, we use chemicals, and all such things. Hey, that's
their
true.
hair's still a virgin. That's why it looks good.
I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing, you know. But we need to realize those little details that they make a great deal of difference in how our hair looks. Now, Carrie, you work with people's hair. I mean, you're also a cosmetologist, and when you're working on people's hair, do you see a difference when you know that your clients are eating right versus those who don't, in terms of how chemical works on their hair and how you style it and how you cut it and everything? Do you see that difference?
Absolutely. I see it quite often, especially those that are serial dieters or who are going to be dieting. If I have a client that I know is going to be, who's planning on losing weight, I actually do coach them and mentor them and say, hey, before we do that, I want to make sure you're educated in how to eat for your weight loss, but also for hair maintenance, because once you do change your diet, if you're not eating right, if you're cutting certain things, yes, you can have hair breakage, brittle hair could fall out. I see it quite often, especially with people who don't do keto correctly, who lose a significant amount of hair. And it's because of the lack of balanced diet that they're having for their body and their hair. Yeah, and I do see clients who also start eating better and healthy and like change their diet, or once they become aware that they have an allergy and intolerance and they start eating for their body. It's a huge significance. I had one client come in, she had very thin hair. She was a nurse, binge eating or eating only when she can, and thin hair. And I tell you, I'm like, okay, let's look at your diet. So I looked at her diet, got her eating protein. And even I know she couldn't have a regular diet where she's having 3 meals a day. So I said, okay, well, let's teach you how to eat to get the proper nutrients throughout your day that aligns with your lifestyle. And so we increased her amino acids, we increased her all of that. We gave her a tailored diet. She got her hair growing back fast. And she's like, that's all I needed to do is to change my diet. And she's been going to doctors, getting PRP treatments, laser treatments, you name it, all these treatments. And it was simply her diet. So
it's amazing. Now, based on your scope as a practitioner of practical medicine, wait.
Functional medicine.
Functional medicine. I'm sorry. Functional medicine. I was looking for the word. It didn't quite come up. As a functional medicine practitioner, people, when they come looking for ways to eat better, they believe that diet is same for everyone. My neighbor is eating this and they're getting great results, and why can I eat that? What do you say to them?
Yeah, it's interesting you said that, because it was 2 days ago when one of my neighbors came in with another one, and one of them is a dancer. She's a ballet dancer, and she came in with a bag of donuts, and she was eating a donut, and she was talking to us, and she is as thin like as hell. She's very thin. And the other lady, she came back from the gym, lifting weight, eating healthy. And she's like, I can't have this donut because I couldn't lose the baby weight yet. It has been a year already. And she couldn't lose the baby weight. And they both of them look at me like the lady who couldn't lose weight, she's like, why? Why I should eat the donut and I can't? Why she's thin and I am not losing my weight? She never go to the gym, and but it's a body type too. So what I said to her is like, I know your frustration. It is actually frustrating to see a thinner friend enjoying the donut and you're not. It is frustrating. But the thing, at the end of the day, we have to understand our bodies, what our body type is. So our blood type, our body, our body type. Some people have high metabolism, some people have low metabolism, just naturally without any external factors. Of course, external factors like having a baby will lower your metabolism, and then the age also. Before 40, our metabolism is faster than after 40. So all these factors will come in play. So we need to understand which stage of life we are in, which stage of what our body type, what our need. And this dancer lady, not because she's a dancer, her body type is the thin type. So she can have a diabetes problem even though she is not overweight. With all this thin body, she can actually have diabetes. So eating donuts and not being fat is not meaning that she's not weight. I mean, adding pounds, it doesn't mean that it's healthy. It's not healthy at all.
Exactly.
Because it's going to her bloodstream. It's causing her inflammation. She's still young now. She doesn't feel it. Eventually it will catch up to her body. That's why I try to explain to both of them. And this lady who's killing herself up in the gym, it's not about killing yourself. When you kill yourself on a diet or in a gym, what happens? Your cortisol level shoots up. And whatever you do, even if you are dieting on a water, you're going to gain weight. It's all about balance. It's all about balance and finding the harmony. And it's really hard. I have been trying to find this harmony since years. Sometimes I do get good results and sometimes I fail. Any slight disturbance in my life will get me out of the harmony. And that's normal. We are humans. But understanding our body type, understanding what can we handle. You can handle tomatoes. I can't handle tomatoes. Like as simple as that. And we can do this in two ways. We can either do food journal. This is how you will know what you can handle. Like you say what you eat every day, and you monitor your emotions, and you monitor your mood, and you monitor your energy, and you connect the dots. Or you can do tests like epigenetic testings, like other billion tests that are cheaper or expensive depending on your budget. knowing our body is really important, not only because it's good for our hair. I mean, the hair is the bonus, but also to find harmony within your body to decrease inflammation, to decrease chances of chronic diseases. So yeah, I mean, anybody comes to me, that's I try to explain the big picture. Not only, oh, I'll take my multivitamin and I go to the gym. It's not that. It's not as simple as that. I mean, I wish, but it's not.
We wish. I mean, we wish there was an easier way to do things, but it's just the way it is. And people don't understand. Sometimes when they see our show, and they'll be like, "Why you guys talk so much about nutrition?" Because without it, there's no hair, guys. It's as simple as that. And you won't believe how many hair loss issues are resolved by simply changing the diet or adding the vitamin or the mineral that is missing in your body.
Exactly.
People undervalue the nutrition. People undervalue nutrition, and it can go overlooked. If you're really serious about your hair, you need to get serious about your nutrition. There's no way around it. Period. There's no way around it.
And one example, Serge, just saying about what you're saying, that, like, for example, taking a multivitamin does not mean you're doing yourself a big favor. Taking, for example, for myself, I'll give you myself as an example. I was taking all these multivitamins and then my hair was just shedding and shedding and shedding. Then when I did a blood test, I was deficient in selenium. I stopped everything, take selenium, 3 months later, everything stabilized.
Yeah. Well, you could over supplement causing hair loss. So there's a fine balance with it. And a lot of times people too, they'll go to a nutritionist, get their supplements, but then they continue it after they don't need it. They don't do their follow-up because they think they don't need it. Even though the nutritionist says and does their job, says, I need you back in 3 months, or I need you back in 4 months. The client will be like, no, I'm feeling good. I'm good. And doesn't come back. Yeah. And then keeps on those supplements, and then their body eventually doesn't need it.
Yes.
And then they blame the nutritionist and everybody else. Yeah, then we have a new problem. And they blame us.
Yes, then you have a liver problem and it's like, oh, damn nutritionist or this damn trichologist.
Yeah.
This is where technology comes into play. And I want to talk a little bit about technology because we use, for instance, our equipment from Cell Wellbeing to do the epigenetic test. And now we have a new tool. And Carrie, I know this is right fresh from the oven. We want to give just folks a little preview of it's underway. What's next? What's the next game changer here in nutrition? Because after you get an epigenetic test, guys, you get a full list of foods that you will need in the next 90 days that you will need to take. But how do I combine these foods? And this is where technology comes into play. Carrie, can you talk to us a little bit about this wonderful app that we're going to be introducing here soon?
Yes. Well, this app, so it is quite new. Now, if you are a practitioner, you guys could direct message us and we'll give you the contact and to set it up. But for the general public, trichologists and nutritionists now have this cool app where we could actually give you recipes based on the food that our recommendations are for epigenetics or eating for hair growth based on you. So if you're a nutritionist, a dietitian, trichologist, you will have access to this. And what we do as the practitioner is we set up the app with foods that you want your client to eat or to avoid. And instead of them running blind, they have this app with suggested recipes based on our recommendations. Oof. And it's not just a nutritional plan. Like you normally go get a nutritional plan, they'll say, okay, you're having this for breakfast Tuesday, this for breakfast Wednesday, this for breakfast Thursday. What's different with this one, this app, you pick breakfast and it gives you up to 55 plus recipes.
Yeah, what if I look at the ingredients for the breakfast that is on the plan? That's perfect. Yeah.
And it's educating you, and it'll tell you that this is high in, say, we as a trichologist often recommend foods rich in amino acids. So it will tell you the amino acids that are recommended for you and tell you why.
There's no excuse. After this, there's no excuse. There's no more, I do not know what to eat. There's a menu. There's literally a menu at your fingertips through an app that you will be able to access. That is neat. That is nifty. That's woo. It's
It's
exciting.
amazing.
Cook for me.
It's
Can the app cook for me?
not quite yet, but you know, you could give it to you could bring in a chef and they could come and cook. Like, this is what I want. I don't need a nutritionist. I just need a chef now. Here's the chef. As a chef creates the recipes, but they don't do some, not all, some do nutritional training, because usually you need a nutritionist and you need a chef.
Right.
Now you have your recipes here. You just bring in your chef.
Your personalized nutritionist.
Pardon?
Your personalized nutritionist.
Yes. Well, and a nutritionist could benefit from this too, because they could give their clients, you know, recipes and ideas. So it's a brilliant app. I'm going to be offering this service today. I'm already set up. I know Sergio and Pisani are going to be setting up this service as well. We're going to be offering this service on the Hairwire. We're setting up where you could hire the three of us as a panel to do your coaching and assessments, and we'll be bringing in other practitioners eventually. We're just getting our ducks in a row. It takes time to build everything. But I know we've had people reach out for us individually to help them or as a group. So that is in the works with this added service. But for now, we will be offering individually and independently. And again, if you're a practitioner and you want to know more, email us directly at info@thehairwire.com and we can line you up with that connection. But yeah, it's a great service. Even my husband, he's a trained chef, and he goes, "This is brilliant. It takes a lot of weight off my shoulders." So
it does. And you know, we were talking a couple of weeks back, you know, about the idea of how we do not plan our meals like for a month, for a week. And right then and there, the app will give you up to 40. And if, let's say you only get 30 different recipes, that's a recipe for a day for breakfast. The same thing for snacks, same thing for, I mean, you can program a full month of meals. If you look at the recipes, just write it down and go to your grocery store, buy what you need. And every day you're going to be eating something different. Every day you're going to be eating something
wake
different.
up and say, I want to eat chicken, and you see what recipes, you know, if you're in a mood of some
that's the thing, you know,
food.
Instead of eating fried chicken every day, have chicken in different settings and different flavors, and adding fruits and adding vegetables and whatnot. I mean, there's so many things about food, guys, and you don't need to limit yourself. And forget about cooking for a second. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't cook. All right, that's okay. And you guys eat on the go. Look for a recipe. This is what I want to eat today, and find a place near you that can cook you something similar. At least you get a plan of what you're going to be eating that day, and that will guide you through your dietary process and to the better health for your life, and not only for your health, but also for your hair, because that's where it starts.
Or Sergio, like when you look at your recipe and like you don't have time to cook or you don't have the ingredients, at least you know that these 3-4 ingredients are good for you. So you can go out and try to order anything that is the closest you can for all these 4 or 5 ingredients. Now that the beauty of this, it's also information. It's easy information without you doing the math and doing all the guessing work and all the stuff. You go to a restaurant, open your app, even if you are not cooking, open your app and see what is the closest you can get, right?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Well, and even the list that you get when you do your epigenetics report, it's a grocery list. So you're like, okay, it tells me to eat a lot more lamb. Okay, what dishes are lamb on here? I'll eat a lamb dish. Or, you know, it's educating you for hair. And I know people are asking us like, okay, well, you're telling us nutrition, we have to get these tailored needs, but I can't do that right now. What are foods that I can eat now to help with my hair nutrition? You know what, if we can recommend, I'm going to recommend some stuff because I know you guys are asking that. I feel ya. I know you are. So for me, when I have clients who haven't had a chance to do a nutritional test or epigenetics, they'll say, what food can I eat right now to start with me on my hair growth journey? I tell them to really focus on a high protein diet. Protein is crucial
Lovely.
for hair production. It's crucial for good skin to maintain and hold that hair in place. So anything I often recommend for them to collagen-rich foods or bone broth to help with the collagen, high protein. I also make sure hydration is huge. I find a lot of times that when people are struggling with eating for their hair, they're very dehydrated. And if you're dehydrated, dehydration contributes to hair loss, you guys. It contributes to brittle hair. It contributes to static hair. It's make sure you maintain your hydration. I monitor my own hydration a lot. I find it, I'm bad for checking off my app and be like, I drank a glass today. I drank a glass today. Instead, I actually monitor my urine. And this is straight from my hematologist. I have 4 hematologists who monitor me on my health condition. And all 4 of them say you can use an app to monitor it, but honestly, just monitor your urine. And what I mean by that is the more yellow your urine is, the more dehydrated you are. The more white your urine is, you're good to go. So monitor that. And then the next thing with my clients, I also make sure that they are eating healthy fats, not crappy fats, like potato chips. This is healthy fats like your avocados, eggs,
Almonds. Yeah.
almonds, Brazil nuts, healthy nuts. And I make sure they also have a well-balanced diet. So if they're eating, I make sure that they have a protein, a healthy carb, and a healthy fat on their plate to make sure that there's consumption. And that's a good start for nutrition. Sergio, I don't know what you recommend. Maybe you recommend something different from what I do.
Yeah. No, I'm same here. I like to go with the high protein diet. And one of the things that I always like to mention my customers, whenever you think about a diet, don't think about the things that you're going to be leaving behind. Think about the things that you're going to be adding to your lifestyle, because it's best to start adding things that you usually do not eat. Then you start removing the ones that, that are not really needed, like sugars, excessive sugars and everything. Work your way of start eating, start adding things to your diet, and then start removing. Biz, you nodded your head. So
wait, I want to say, I'm going to cut you off there. I have to say, because I studied the brain all the time. I love that you said that, because we as a human, you're nodding too. We as humans, when we're told not to do something, naturally we want to do it more.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's crucial that you focus on what you can have than what you can't have, because of that whole placebo-nocebo effect in your brain. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, it is perfect the way you said it, because I did this with a friend of mine. She wakes up in the morning and she will eat like a cake, or she has a very sweet tooth. So her cup of coffee is accompanied with just one biscuit, just one chocolate, just one, this just one.
Yeah, like we have kids, just one.
Yeah, but what's happening when she's having coffee on empty stomach with high sugar, whatever it is, and no food till lunch, then she's starving at lunch. Whatever she's gonna eat, it's gonna turn into fat or cellulite, and she's going to crash afterwards, right? Because she functions her first morning on the energy of the sugar and caffeine. The minute she's going to eat after she's starving, she's going to crash. So what I said, and she's like, no way, I can't function without coffee and my one candy. I said, no problem, do it. What, just eat one egg before. Just do this egg. First, eat your one egg, just one egg, one candy, one egg. Eat one egg like that, just like put it in your mouth. I don't care if you do it. I don't care if you do it with vegetables. I don't care. Boil an egg, eat it when you're closing your eyes, eat it, and then go have your coffee and candy. Do it for me for 2 weeks and come back and tell me what's going to happen. And she's like, oh, now 2 weeks later, she doesn't like that. She doesn't crave for the candy or sugary thing after her because she's full. Her coffee, she started to decrease by time. Now she is good with eating eggs in the morning. That's it. It's just
simple
add
changes.
the protein will satiate her, and whatever comes after, it doesn't matter anymore. I mean, it does matter, but doesn't matter as much.
Exactly. And that's the thing, guys. So whenever you start considering dieting, again, go back to what you need to add, and then we talk about what you're going to be removing. All right. So let's wrap it up here, guys. We want to say thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, but most importantly, hit the notification bell so you will know every time we post new media to our platforms. And of course, visit all of our social medias. Go to our YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course to our Spotify show and Apple podcast. finally got it right. Anything else that you guys want to add before we leave?
I want to add one thing. It is one subscribe. Just do it. One subscribe. Each one of you.
Yes, importantly. Carrie?
No, thank you very much, you guys. If you do have any questions on this, please absolutely reach out to us at thehairwire.com. And if you do want to hire us as consultants or coaches, by all means, send us an email. We'll have it set up eventually. But in the meantime, you can email us. Or if you want to contact us individually, you could go to our About page, the team page, and you could get our direct information for each of us individually. And we could go from there and set you up on new hair you.
Oh, yes. I like that.
New hair you. That's a new slogan. The new hair you at Here the Hair Wire, where people get hair smart. We'll see you next week, guys. God bless you. Bye-bye.